Let us now turn our focus to the National Education Policy of 1998 to 2010. This policy was set for a 12-year period. What did the policy set and what did it achieve? The national literacy movement will be launched on an emergency basis in every village, tehsil and district. National literacy movement. Pakistan was prepared for universal literacy. On paper, it looks very good. In reality, did we get there? Did we achieve it? This would be launched on an emergency basis. So I'm hoping it was launched in 1998 when the policy came out. If it was launched later, then it was not on an emergency basis. And it was supposed to happen in every village, tehsil, and district. Did it happen in every village, tehsil, and district? I think this was a little exaggerated because for every village, tehsil, and district, imagine how many of these centers you would need to set up. Where were you going to get the people who were going to do the training, who were going to deliver the literacy skills of reading, writing, and simple calculations, simple quantitative skills? That's a lot of staff that would be required to do that. Where were you going to find them? Were they going to be trained individuals? Were they going to be just literate or educated individuals? Because who imparts the training also makes a difference. When you have the wrong individual trying to do the right job, you never get the right job done. You need to have the right individual doing the right job to get the right job done. So, as I said earlier too, on paper we look very good. But unfortunately, in reality, the implementation phase is where we mess up consistently. Mosques, wherever feasible, will be utilized as one of the means to provide non-formal basic education to increase literacy. That's a good idea because there are lots of mosques in every village, tehsil, district, every locality. There are lots and lots of mosques. So if mosques could be converted into schools during the day to provide non-formal basic education, which means we were not going to teach them the school subjects. We were going to just simply make them into functional literates. Literates that could function in society and carry out their normal day-to-day tasks. These are individuals who would be able to read, write, and do simple quantitative skills and understand what they are doing on their own without the intervention and help of an outside external source or individual. Were we successful? How many mosques were actually converted into these centers for non-formal education? Were they successful? Who monitored them? Who made the accountability count? Who went and visited these places to determine were they doing what they were supposed to be doing? Because if the mosques were only imparting religious education, they were only teaching the Holy Quran, the Hadith, the life and works of the Prophet, and nothing else, that is not non-formal basic education. That is just religious education. Important, but it's not enough for being a literate individual, for creating a literate individual. To create a literate individual, you need to go beyond simply religious education. PMLC, which was another group that was set up, would prepare a plan of action in consultation with the provinces for a coordinated effort in the National Literacy Program. Yes, at that time we had the 4 provinces, and unless those 4 provinces worked together, unless those 4 provinces coordinated, nobody would know what the different provinces were doing. And we were looking at a national literacy movement. For a national literacy movement, the 4 provinces had to do the same things. If Balochistan was doing its own stuff and Punjab was doing something else, and Sindh was minding its own business, and KPK was doing its own thing, that would not lend itself to a national literacy movement. And universal literacy and universal education could not be achieved. How much coordination was there among the 4 provinces? Who was monitoring that coordination? Who held the provinces accountable for doing the same things? To begin with, my question really is, were the provinces even told what the same things were? Or were they supposed to invent their own curriculum for basic education and from that develop the national literacy movement? If you never give them the groundwork, if you never give them the basics, and you're supposed to do the basics yourself, well, different people will do the basics according to their trend of thought.